What's going on, Halloween fans? My name's Dave McRae. So in this video, I want to talk about something that is quickly making the rounds, let's just say. A lot of people are sort of buying into it, believing that there is something to it. And although I cannot say for absolute certainty 100%, because I obviously haven't seen the movie, I think the probability that it is what many of you are suggesting is actually on the lower end of being true. So low, in fact, that I think it's virtually non-existent. I do think this is Laurie Strode. And I think the probability of it being Laurie Strode is extremely high. Not just in what sort of I'm about to show you here and sort of the evidence that I'm going to present to you, but just narratively and how they are structuring the trailer together, using a bit of the cinematic language that they have been, it makes sense. Not impossible, but it makes sense. It's very high. So what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about that final shot. I believe it's the final shot in the Halloween Ends teaser trailer where Laurie Strode stabs Michael in the left hand, in his left hand with the butcher knife. And we know this is Michael because his pinky finger and his ring finger are not there, which is the way it's supposed to be. Which is not necessarily the case in one particular shot in the Halloween Ends teaser trailer when Michael, quote unquote, is opening the door and Laurie is standing there with a gun. He's opening the door with his left hand and we see that he has all his fingers. Now, of course, I've been talking about this Corey Cunningham character and how that there may or may not be a copycat situation happening in the movie. And even if it's not a copycat killer and Corey actually doesn't kill anybody, which there's no evidence to suggest that he does yet, it is entirely possible, dare I say, based on what we've seen now, highly probable that Corey Cunningham does in fact dress up as Michael Myers at the very least. So some people have suggested that the individual stabbing Michael in his left hand at the very end of the teaser trailer is in fact not Laurie Strode. It could very well be Corey Cunningham. And why do they think this? Well, if you look closely, it kind of looks like the sleeve of a mechanic's coveralls. You know, the way it looks, the lighting. And if you look even closer, that's clearly somebody's right hand. And if you look even closer at the pinky finger, there's a ring on that pinky finger. And we all know that there's this shot of Michael in the Halloween Ends teaser trailer, where if you look closely as he's stabbing this pillow on his right hand, he's got a ring on his pinky finger. And I was like, what is going on? And Corey Cunningham, if you look closely when he's being choked by Michael, on his right hand, he's got a ring on his pinky finger. There's something going on. I get it. I understand it. And although I do believe there is a high probability that Corey Cunningham does in fact dress up as Michael Myers in this movie for the many reasons that we've been talking about here on this channel this week, I do not believe that this is him stabbing Michael in his left hand. I do think this is Laurie Strode. Because you know who also has a ring on their right hand, although it is not on their pinky finger, it is on their ring finger? It's Laurie Strode. It's Laurie Strode. Now let's jump over to the other screen here and dive a little deeper into this. I'm going to show you some pictures and some video as well. And hopefully this will put this rumor to bed. Again, nothing's impossible. We're talking about what is probable. Okay, here we go. The other screen here. And of course, this is the image in question. And I understand if you take this image at face value and you look very closely, yes, it certainly looks like this could be the sleeve of a mechanic's coveralls and the way it bunches up here. And of course, you have a bloody hand with a knife and there's that ring. There's that ring that kind of looks like it could be on the pinky finger on the right hand, right? Now pay close attention to those two little hot spots there, right? Those two little hot spots of this ring. Pay close attention to that because that's going to come to be very important in a few moments here. I can understand that, but we have to remember that brighter colors look darker in shadow, and this arm is in shadow. Laurie Strode is wearing a lighter blue shirt. That is true. And if you look at this part of the shirt here, which is in some brighter light, it looks more in line with the color that she's wearing, right? If you also look here, and you'll notice this when we go to the video, it looks like two, well, actually only looks like one there, but you'll notice in the video, it looks like there are two white buttons there that are sort of keeping her shirt, the cuff of her shirt together, perhaps. And this certainly does look like it could be the pinky finger. But in actuality, and I don't like doing this at all, to be honest with you. I'm sort of, I'm somebody that always says, don't brighten up images. That's not the way they're supposed to look. But for the sake of this, I did, because I think it helps to sort of prove my point. So let me go over to the other image here. This is brightened up, okay? And if we look closely here, again, we can see sort of the white buttons, and there is a knuckle here. Her pinky finger is being lost. Her pinky finger is being lost. This looks like it's her pinky finger when you just take it at face value in the original image and in the way it's supposed to look. But you can see there's another knuckle here. So her pinky finger is actually wrapped around here. This is her ring finger. This is her middle finger. This would be her index finger. And then her thumb is up here somewhere. So now let's go over to the video, shall we? Now this, of course, is Michael Myers trying to put Laurie Strode's right hand into the garbage disposal. And if you look very closely, you can see on her ring finger that she is wearing a ring. Now remember when I said to look closely at this image here and pay close attention to those two little hot spots? Well, it's because it's picking up two different points of the design of the ring. So when we, again, go to this shot here, you can see that it almost looks like it's like, I don't want to say beaded, but it's got little circles, right? It's like, it's that kind of a ring, if you know what I'm talking about. And you'll notice it even more here in a second. Okay, so here we are. This is Laurie just about to pick up the knife. This is seconds before the stab. And again, there's the ring. Right there, you can see those two little hot spots, right? Again, the light is sort of reflecting off of different parts of the design of the ring because there's little round circles. Again, it almost looks kind of beaded in some way. I don't know what the proper term for a ring of that style would be, but I think you know what I'm talking about because it's very clear in the other shot. But look at how bloody her hand is. Look how bloody that pinky finger is. And those details would get lost in the shadows of dimly lit light. For sure, 100%. So again, let's jump back to the other photo here. Okay, there we are. And again, right, you can see that it's kind of, that pinky finger is really getting lost. But you can see very faintly the top of the knuckle there. Very faintly the top of the knuckle. Okay, let's jump back to the video here and let's walk through this a little bit, shall we? Nerds, we're nerds. Okay, so this obviously is Michael trying to put Laurie's hand into the garbage disposal. And again, there's that ring with that interesting design, right? You can see it. You can see it. And if you can't see it, then bring it up on your own time and you will. But there it is. We can see it. We can definitely see it. There it is. You get a really good shot of it right there. Right there, right? Okay, so we're going to go through it. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, there it is again. There it is again, right? Look at that ring. See the little circles there? We've seen rings like that before. A lot of women wear that kind of stuff. And it's clearly on her right hand, on her ring finger on her right hand, not the pinky finger. So we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. Hits him. Bum, 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 bum. Turns around. Grabs the knife. There it is. There's the ring. There's the ring. Look how bloody that hand is. Look how bloody that pinky finger is. There's the ring. We can clearly see it. She's wearing a ring on her right hand on her ring finger. 100%. There's no doubt about it. She picks up the knife. We're going up. We're going up. Look at the lighting. Look at the lighting in here. See how this gets darker, right? And because we got moonlight coming in perhaps, or maybe a street light of some sort, right? We can see the color there, right? We can see the difference, right? That is really what the color of her shirt is. But of course, it gets darker as we get into the shadows. She goes up. Oh, went too far. She goes up, 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 up. She's coming down. She's coming down. She's coming down. Here she goes. Boom. Look at those two white little buttons. Remember when I said there were like two little white buttons on her shirt? Those look like two little white buttons to me. But again, we can see the difference in color, right? It gets lost in the shadow. Right there especially. Oh, that totally looks like the coveralls. Yeah, it does. I agree. But I don't believe it is. This is Laurie Strode. This is Laurie Strode. This is just lost in the shadow. And we can see, again, the color of her shirt there. And there's the ring on her right hand, the two little hot spots on her ring finger. This is Laurie Strode. I think today, I've at least presented pretty strong evidence that this is not Corey Cunningham stabbing Michael in the hand. It is, in fact, Laurie Strode, and it is part of the climactic battle between these two, the final battle between Laurie Strode and Michael Myers. So hopefully this will begin to put that rumor to bed. This makes sense to me, not just with what we broke down here today, but narratively, it makes sense. Anyways, folks, my name's Dave McRae. Comment below and let me know your thoughts. If you want to follow me on social media, you can. There are my links right there. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. All my links are in the description. Check them out until your heart's content. And when your heart is content, check them out again. That's going to do it for me. In the meantime and in between time, I will talk to you soon. Cheers.